this is my eighth consecutive year presenting at GESS, ninth year in total in terms of attending. Last year we had the idea to put this VR stage together. It was kind of a test run last year. So this year we've gone a bit bigger and it's become the Immersive Technology stage. So we're incorporating augmented and virtual reality under the broader heading of Immersive Technologies. Obviously AR has always been an easier proposition in terms of integration, because you've got the ability to use technology that's already in classrooms like iPads to harness augmented reality experiences for learning. Whereas with VR, a lot of schools had dipped their toes in the water at the lower levels of the VR spectrum in terms of using mobile VR headsets, Google Cardboards and the like. We're now starting to see the higher end virtual reality headsets that offer true VR experiences become more accessible. Things like the Vive Focus Plus, the Oculus Quest, we're starting to see schools harness this technology. You know, it's something that I've been working with various schools in my new role, and it's something that we're happy to be sharing at the Immersive Technology stage this year. For me, it's great this year because last year I basically did the 3 days, and it was me for, I'd say 90%. It was either me delivering presentations or hosting hands-on opportunities with Vive. And this year I am still delivering multiple presentations. There is still opportunities for people to come and have a go hands-on with Google Tilt Brush. But I'm delighted that I got the opportunity this year to curate this awesome lineup of speakers, both local and international. So, you know, from the local education community, we've got people like Andy Turner from Aldar Academies coming in to show off what they've been doing with Class VR. We've got people like my old colleagues Kieran Kelly and Noel Tui from GESS Dubai coming in to share some of their amazing stuff that they do with augmented reality on the iPad. And then we've got a small batch of international speakers coming in as well, including my good friend Alex Johnson, who I've known for a number of years since we've both become ADEs together in 2015. Alex works in India and has really pioneered the integration of VR technology in that area for a couple of years now. So it's great to have Alex on board, and he's going to be coming to share some of the work he's been doing with Oculus Quest. And we've got Zaina Chalic coming over from Australia as well. And in fact, the main presentation that I delivered last year was around why schools should take the plunge with virtual reality. And in the 12 months that have passed since, we've seen more and more schools start to take that plunge and realise that, you know, procrastination is ultimately it's incredibly detrimental to any organisation, because you end up in a position where you're so far out of touch that it's incredibly hard to catch up without a full company reset. So yeah, I mean, budgetary concerns are one of the barriers to adoption. I still believe, though, the single biggest barrier to adoption of virtual reality in classrooms is misunderstanding of the technology, and people in particular assuming that it's a very passive technology and assuming that it's a technology just for consumption, and the misunderstanding that experiential learning is not on the same level as the kind of creative activities that you can accomplish with a traditional computer. And I think part of our job as the pioneers, the early adopters, and the people that I've got with me joining me on the Immersive Technology stage this year, part of our job is to help the rest of the education community come to understand the power of immersive technology, to recognise the fact that immersive technology, spatial computing, whatever you want to refer to it as, is not just another gimmick, it's not just another gadget, it's the evolution, it's the next step in terms of computing as a whole. This is where all forms of computing will move towards in the next decade, and by harnessing it now, we're empowering not only our educators but also the students who are going to live in a world that's completely wrapped in this technology. The most important thing for me is that people come and they develop their understanding of immersive technology as a medium, and they start to appreciate what augmented and virtual reality can do in the classroom, and to, you know, break down some of those barriers in terms of misunderstanding and the misconceptions of AR and VR, and people start to realise that it isn't just a current fad or a current gimmick, that it is this evolution of technology. I mean, they're referred to as experiential technologies for a reason. They're the sorts of things that you need to experience. You can describe a VR experience to somebody in a massive detail. They could be stood next to you whilst you're going through this virtual reality experience, but it's not the same thing until you put the headset on and you're in there yourself. It's a very emotive form of technology, and it's very visceral, so you need to experience it for yourself. It's great that we're going to be able to give people not just the opportunity to learn from some real pioneers, but to go hands-on with some of these various forms of technology whilst they're here. So obviously, for the last 11 years, I've been working at GESS Dubai, but this is the very first year I'm here at GESS, and I'm not here representing GESS. I've now worked for myself. I set up as a consultant as of the start of this academic year. My company is called Digital Inception, and I've been working with schools across the MENA region, helping them with technology integration, not just immersive technology. I've also been working with things like Office 365 and Apple technologies, social media, as well as coding and computing. But obviously my heart, my passion is still immersive technology, and it's been great to take that technology into schools. I've got some students from Safa British School that I did a VR project with coming in to showcase some of their work during the event, which is great. And I've actually just come back from Riyadh recently, where I'm working with King Faisal School to help set up 2 VR labs off the back of the G20 event that we hosted there in December.